Nobody knows where to get their movies or TV. Nobody knows who the brightest star is today. Hollywood is dead, my friends. I don't, and this is all going to come back to music.
She's gone away, made a way to LA.
Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Lost Robots. It is episode 2 of my podcast, and today I want to talk about the future of music, and I want to talk about the state of Hollywood today and how that pertains to where music is going. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, it's because we just had a radical change in the world, haven't we? And things have changed rapidly. So we need to discuss these things. If you are living in a bubble, I'm sorry, my friends, people are lying to you. You need to get outside of that box and outside of that Instagram world and realize things have changed. And no marketeer on Instagram can sell your music to anybody. And you cannot pay anybody to listen to your music. Things have changed. What am I talking about? Well, I want to talk about Hollywood, the fall of Hollywood, and how that pertains to music. So if you'll bear with me really quick, because of the pandemic, we all know that Hollywood was destroyed. Okay, so the very things that Hollywood promotes and promoted and sympathizes with, shut them down. Okay, so very few people go to the movie theaters anymore. And I know a lot of people are out there in concerts, but that's a very touchy subject too, right? Is it outside? Is it inside? Is it a big venue? Is it a small venue? Now, how does this pertain to music? Well, I want you to understand, we need to kind of go back just a little bit to Napster, right? And when the creation of MP3 form music and the creation of being able to basically steal music for free, right? Well, here we are today with Hollywood, where we have streaming services have divided the whole movie industry in complete just chaos. Nobody knows where to get their movies or TV. Nobody knows who the brightest star is today. Hollywood is dead, my friends. I don't, and this is all going to come back to music. So now, after the pandemic started, Hollywood shut down music as well. It's still very difficult to perform in the full capacity depending on what state or city or where you're at. All right, there are all kinds of things going on with mandates and how you can play and how many people and what's going on. And I know and I sympathize with musicians. They are just damn lucky to go out and make a living again, just to be able to put food on their table. I wonder how many musicians, even on a professional level, were collecting food stamps last year, or collecting unemployment checks. Let's be honest here. Now, guys, we need to talk about this because the death of Hollywood is a direct result of streaming. The $10 a month ability to download anything you want. It has made you as an artist, it has made us as artists irrelevant, and it's convoluted. Now, I know I'm a little older. I'm 42. You ask me who's the hot star right now, I might be able to name you a few. And if I name a few of those are older actors, and they're hot because they were hot 20 years ago and they're still hot now. But you try to get me on some of the younger actors and actresses, I can't tell you. But here's the funny thing. If you were a young kid and you talked about your favorite actor or actress to another kid, they may not know who you're talking about. My friends, I know it's very difficult for some of you younger in the audience, younger folks in the audience, to realize that in my time, Hollywood was the biggest thing that you could even understand or touch. Everybody knew who the actors were. And the same goes for the music industry. If you were a musician and you were at the top, everybody knew who you were. Give or take a few things, like the older folks who didn't know who the cool band was, right? So I sound like Grandpa Simpson, the old guy talking about, I don't know who anybody is anymore and who's cool and who's not cool. So as Hollywood gets spread thin, right, like butter over a piece of bread, as it gets spread, you lose the foundation. And it still might be good, but we don't know what's going on. I think we can all, at this moment, was it November 2nd? You know what I'm saying, guys? I think Squid Game is the hottest thing out there on Netflix, right? Are you going to remember any of those people a week from now? Are you going to know Squid Game a month from now? Is anybody going to remember any of this, any of these hot movies now? And the answer is no. How does this all pertain back to music? Well, as I get on Instagram, and I'm still very new to Instagram, only for a couple of years I've been on it, I've noticed a watering down of the music industry even further than what could have happened the past 20 years. And now with the advent of technology, we can record in our studios a lot easier. I've been doing it for 22 years. There are 60,000 songs uploaded every day, and that waters things down, doesn't it? Right? So, do you know who the favorite, what musicians are hot right now? I think it's very difficult to even know who the hottest artists are right now. Adele can release a song and it's been how long? And it's like, hey, good song on number one. It's amazing. you know what I mean? And that's Adele. She was popular a long time ago. We're talking over a decade ago. All right, so got the Cardi B's of the world. A few hip hop and rap is always at the top of the charts. And those names get out there for sure because hip hop dominates. Okay, in rock and roll, who is the hottest ticket right now in rock? You just ask yourself this question, this question right now as I'm asking you, answer it. Who is the hottest ticket? Okay, guys, so as music is rapidly changing and evolving, Hollywood has devolved very quickly in front of our eyes. You may never see a big budget movie again. Now, where's the big budget music coming from? Well, that's because the record labels still have an interest in propping that rising star, that star that can somehow grasp the attention of not only a country, but the world, so they can sell them throughout the world and capitalize on, the worldwide money, not just the country, right? And it's not like the old days where they were just throwing money at bands left and right to see if they can get a good hit and make, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off a song that was sold in physical form, right? Some of the best examples I can give, I'll try to at least give a couple. If you'll forgive me right now, is Tom MacDonald. Tom MacDonald is a rapper from Canada who is hitting it hard. Millions of hits. He is up there in the top 40, the top 20 all the time, top 10 all the time. This guy sells physical CDs still with, signed and autographed. He's uploading videos to YouTube every week, if not every other week. This guy doesn't sleep. This guy doesn't eat. This guy's music all day long. He has a look. He stands for something, which was my first episode that my first podcast was about, the last episode. He takes a stand for something. He represents something. And he doesn't back down. And then, of course, there are other artists out there that are doing somewhat similar things and hitting it hard. But they're standing out, I think, more on a personal level because they're getting down deep in the personal level with people. This sitting in front of a camera, talking to their audience, recording songs, being relatable. Because now you're trying to grasp that audience on a very personal level to where before there was no really personal level except for the song. And that's all that was needed to grasp somebody, because to grab somebody's attention, because they didn't have the entertainment, they didn't have the distractions, they didn't have the entertainment. They had music and art and movies to touch them and relate to them. So as the movie industry has gone now the past couple of years, and things will forever be changed. I promise you that. I promise you things will not go back to normal, at least not for a good 5 to 10 years, where people will want to be back in the theater paying cash to see a piece of art, i.e. a movie. I can tell you right now, the only way you will make money off of a song is to physically sell it to your audience. And of course, you can do that online. That's a digital way. With about $1, people will buy your singles. So people can just pick and choose. But you try telling Tom McDonald he can't sell a CD, he will laugh at you. These are CDs, my friends. Of course, I guarantee you there's a digital download on that CD, guaranteed. But we need to realize that Hollywood, as Hollywood disintegrates in front of our eyes, your ability to remember and relate to people at work, at school, at home, wherever you might be, on a level with music, it's going to be very difficult these days. It's not going to be the same. You're not going to be walking up to your friends and going, "Oh, who are you listening to right now?" I think it's going to be very different, especially as, the next, frankly, 2 to 5 years. I think it's going to be even harder for us to relate to each other around the water cooler, so to speak, right? Or on the school grounds. Do friends like the same music like the way we did in high school? Well, things are changing very rapidly, my friends, and I think we need to just take a look at the situation, take a look at the trends that are happening in music and movies. And I think more and more it's going to be personal. I really think, unfortunately, you're going to have to get on the Instagrams, TikToks, YouTube, and get personal with your audience, release your artwork, and try to get them to physically buy it digitally. Like, buy it, don't stream it, buy it. Or you get them to buy some artwork, the CD, signed, art, vinyl maybe, vinyl records, t-shirts, merchandise. But you better, you have to have your audience first for all this. That's another discussion for another time. Things have changed from the past 20 years, my friends. I can't tell you that I like it and that I'm happy about it, but it's changed. And Hollywood has showed us, these past couple of years have showed us that mainstream corporations do not care really about the product. They just care about your dollar. They just care about your dollar. And we got to go spend our money wisely and spend it on good art. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. My name is Jesse. Hit like, subscribe down below. New podcast every week where we're talking about music. I'm going to be doing some real-time examples, not just me talking in some of my future podcasts. So stick around, stay tuned. We will talk to you soon. Have a good day. Make some beautiful music. We'll talk to you soon.